Alcatraz Island, once known for housing America's most dangerous criminals, is now a place of mystery and intrigue. The notorious institution, located on the remote Alcatraz Island in San Francisco Bay, California, served as a high-security federal prison from 1934 until its closure in 1963. Josh, an experienced FBI agent, embarks on a mission to uncover the mysterious past of Alcatraz, particularly the infamous prison break of 1962. Alcatraz gained notoriety for its harsh conditions, extreme isolation, and the widespread belief that escape was impossible due to its isolated location and the dangerous currents encircling the island. However, there were instances of prisoners attempting to break free, with the most renowned incident unfolding in 1962. Three inmates, Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglin, devised a plan to escape captivity by creating rudimentary rafts and crafting lifelike dummy heads to deceive guards during routine bed checks. Despite their meticulous planning, the ultimate fate of these escapees remained shrouded in mystery, with speculations suggesting they met their demise by drowning in the frigid waters of the bay. The Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary stood tall and menacing on Alcatraz Island, about 1.25 miles from the bustling shores of San Francisco. It was like a fortress in the rough seas of the bay, with temperatures hovering around a bone-chilling 53°F. The icy currents would make it nearly impossible for even the most daring inmate to escape through the prison's thick walls. The prison's management and guards worked tirelessly to create an air of invincibility around Alcatraz by spreading a web of myths and tales designed to deter escape attempts. Inside the grim prison walls, stories of swift and severe punishments for would-be escapees spread, instilling deep fear of the dangerous waters and the relentless pursuit of justice awaiting anyone who dared to defy the prison's iron grip. To discourage escape attempts, those in charge of Alcatraz perpetuated frightening myths and legends. These included tales of sharks lurking in the icy waters around the island, ready to attack anyone foolish enough to attempt the perilous swim to freedom. Freedom was told over and over again. Inmates were told that there were always dangerous animals in the water and that the jail guards were expert shooters who were told to kill any prisoner they saw trying to escape the island fortress. The strict security at Alcatraz made it the perfect place for some of America's most known criminals to live. People who wanted to escape were scared just thinking about Alcatraz because they thought the island fortress could not be broken into. But the harsh facts of life in prison on the rock didn't change the prisoner's strong desire for freedom. Over the years, brave prisoners came up with a lot of crazy escape plans. And over the years, every attempt failed, and the brave people involved were either caught or killed. Still, one escape stands out as an example of how creative and strong people can be. Alan West, Frank Morris, John and Clarence Anglin, and their siblings were four prisoners who attempted to escape from Alcatraz, a notorious prison. Before being sent to Alcatraz, these inmates had tried many times to escape from other jails. West was the first to think of escaping. West found a hole in the ventilation duct that led to the outside of the house, reinforced with steel rods that could easily be cut or broken. He informed Frank Morris, another prisoner whose cell was next to the air hole, about the possibility and jumped at the chance to make a detailed escape plan. Records show that Morris had an IQ of 133, which showed his intelligence and strategic acumen. He led the way in starting the escape plan by getting John and Clarence Anglin, two other prisoners whose cells were easily located next to his own, to help him. They had to go through passages built to fit sanitary ducts to get to the ventilation pipe opening that West found behind their own cells. Once they were out of their cells, it was easy for them to climb these ducts until they reached the ventilation opening. There, they could cut the steel rods and get to the jail roof. The inmates took advantage of the weaker jail walls due to lack of maintenance and the corrosive effects of the sea. They began digging through the walls, using secret spoons to chip away at the walls every day. This was a careful job that took months of constant commitment, and the prisoners had to stay alert at all times to ensure the guards couldn't catch them. The prisoners planned their secret activities with great care to avoid detection. They decided to work during times when the jail was likely to be noisy, such as when the prisoners played music every night. Additionally, they took advantage of periods when regular repair tasks were being done inside the prison, using those opportunities to break down walls without drawing attention to themselves. The 4 prisoners set up a pattern and carefully timed their digging projects for moments when they thought the guards weren't looking. To keep their actions from being discovered, they meticulously planned their timing and synchronization. They chose one of their group to act as a lookout, positioned to keep a close eye on the hallway, and ready to alert the others if any guards approached, thereby lowering the risk of being caught. Due to the strict security measures at Alcatraz, the prisoners had to plan and execute their escape with extraordinary precision. Their hard work and ability to collaborate demonstrated their determination to escape the notorious jail. Despite the risks of sudden headcounts by alert guards or rumors of the escape plan spreading among other prisoners, no one turned on the plotters. In fact, some prisoners even offered to help with the project, showcasing the close-knit community and the importance of aiding others in escaping the prison. Around 80 prisoners, a significant portion of Alcatraz's population at the time, were aware of the escape plan while the digging was taking place. Despite this widespread knowledge, none of the prisoners betrayed their fellow inmates by informing the authorities. Those who worked on the escape created holes in their cell walls using cardboard planks made from materials found in the jail workshop. They painted these planks to match the prison walls and placed personal items like musical instruments and clothes in front of the fake holes, making it harder for guards to detect them during regular cell checks. After months of arduous labor, the prisoners managed to enlarge the holes in their cell walls enough to fit their bodies. Their goals extended beyond simply breaking out of jail. They also aimed to cross the dangerous waters surrounding the island. To address this challenge, they devised a plan to construct a makeshift boat using whatever materials they could find inside the prison. They managed to collect and repurpose 50 raincoats for this purpose, and used them to build a rubber boat and life jackets out of raincoats to avoid being caught by the careful guards who were often watching the area. Allen, West and Morris worked together to cover the bars above the cells with blankets and sheets to prevent dust from building up while they were cleaning. This led to the scandal over the security breach at Alcatraz. During 2 months, the prisoners planned their actions so that no one would suspect anything. Every day, at least one of them would go up to the hidden studio and work hard on building the rubber boat and making life jackets out of the old raincoats they had saved. They also made sure to cut the steel rods on the opening of the ventilation duct so they could get to the top when needed. To keep things secret, the prisoners stuck to a strict routine and used coded signals and shifts as lookouts to let each other know when guards were coming. Working quickly and quietly, they used makeshift tools twisted together from things they found in jail or got in secret to reduce the risk of being away from their cells for long periods. During nighttime work sessions, the prisoners made fake heads that looked just like real ones. They carved and painted these heads in the dark, making sure they looked eerily like their real faces. Once they were done, the fake heads were put on their pillows and hidden under blankets to make it look like the prisoners were happily asleep in their beds. The guards were fooled by this clever trick when they did their regular bed checks, as they saw what looked like peaceful, sleeping prisoners and didn't think anything of it. This allowed the prisoners to continue their secret activities without being interrupted. Photos of these carefully made fake heads have been kept in the jail archives, showing how creative and resourceful the prisoners were in their search for freedom. The CRA jailbreak was a complex and dangerous operation that took place on June 11, 1962. 4 prisoners, including Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers, worked tirelessly in their secret workshop to build a rubber boat and life jackets. They planned to escape by setting up fake heads on their beds and digging ventilation shafts to escape onto the prison roof. However, only 3 of the prisoners were able to escape as planned: Allen West, Frank Morris, and the Anglin brothers. Allen faced an unexpected. Frank Morris faced a problem when trying to open his air shaft, which was made difficult by hardened cement. Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers continued with their plan, preparing for the escape by assembling the rubber boat and life jackets and taking out the steel rods from the ventilation duct opening. Allen stayed in his cell due to a blockage in his air shaft. The plan was to have the others start the flight if one of them ran into problems. Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers managed to reach the top of the jail without being seen, and they used a modified instrument to blow up their boat without anyone noticing. The prison's wake-up bell rang at 7 a.m., allowing the morning headcount to begin. Allen was questioned first because he couldn't get out of his jail, but police thought he was hiding information about the escape plans. When they reached San Francisco, despite extensive searches, no sign of the escapees was found, suggesting they were able to cross the water in their boat. The FBI looked into the case for 15 years before handing it over to local officials. It was officially decided that the prisoners had died in the water around Alcatraz. Josh, a reporter, becomes increasingly interested in the details of the escape story, following in the steps of the dangerous prisoners who refuse to give up. When Josh walks into Frank Morris's cell, he feels a sense of amazement and doubt, trying to imagine the thought process behind the plan. He also realizes that the Anglin brothers' cells were close by, highlighting the incredible collaboration between these prisoners. Throughout the tour, Josh is amazed by the intelligence and bravery of the escapees, demonstrating the strength of the human spirit and the determination of people to fight for freedom even when the odds seem insurmountable. Josh, a tour guide, visits Alcatraz prison and finds the prisoners' psychological impact on him. He explores the prison's maze-like hallways, discovering the tunnels used to access the workshop where they made life jackets and boats. The best part of the tour is seeing the FBI's evidence of the prisoners' brave attempt to escape. The makeshift life vests were created from items found inside the jail walls by resourceful individuals. The prisoners learned ideas from books in the jail library, especially old issues of Popular Mechanics. This realization highlights their ingenuity and determination.